Today, we're diving into a rocket festival that's so much more than just a big show. Think of it as a living, breathing museum of art, community, and tradition, all literally blasting into the sky.
All right, so the festival's own slogan pretty much tells you everything you need to know. It hits on three core elements. You've got these magnificent dance parades, you've got these marvelously decorated rockets, and then the real star of the show, these amazing Phum patterns that cover them.
And get this isn't just some weekend thing. We're talking about a massive 5-day celebration. It all builds up, It kicks off with ceremonies and light shows, then moves into cultural contests, leading to a huge parade where royal trophies are on the line. And then, the grand finale, launching rockets that can weigh tens, hundreds, or even thousands of kilograms.
So, you might be wondering what makes this festival so special compared to others. The secret sauce, the thing that really sets it apart from everything else, it all comes down to two words, Phum.
Okay, so what exactly is Phum? How can a simple pattern be so important that it becomes the very identity of a festival and, really, of an entire community?
Well, at its core, it's the artistic soul of the region. It's this unique, traditional pattern with its own very distinct colors and forms. It's like a visual language that's been passed down for generations, which means every single rocket becomes a flying canvas, carrying that local heritage right up into the sky. And this is where it gets really interesting. The pattern has this signature look, dominated by warm yellows, reds, and oranges. But here's the kicker. It's not just for rockets. You see the same artistic DNA on all sorts of important community crafts, from sacred offering towers to ornate funeral towers. It's literally woven into the fabric of their artistic and spiritual life.
To really get why this is so important, we have to go back in time. And trust me, its origins are probably not what you'd expect.
The sheer ambition here is just incredible. To put it in perspective, back around 1967, the community built its first major decorated rocket. It used 120 kilograms of gunpowder alone. Can you imagine? That was a huge, incredibly daring project for its time, and it just goes to show how deeply committed they were to this craft.
And this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. According to a community sage, Kwamvanlu Somponga, this whole thing didn't start in some engineering workshop or art studio. No, it all began at the temple. You had monks like Luang Porpang leading the charge, basically turning a place of worship into this incredible hub of artistic and pyrotechnic innovation. So you've got this amazing tradition born in a temple, but how do you keep something like that alive and well in our fast-paced modern world? Well, it all comes down to dedicated people. It survives because of individuals like Mr. Niwat Plexen. This guy didn't just admire the tradition from afar, he took it upon himself to revive it. He literally went and found the old patterns the master monks had left behind and spent years just studying them, learning through trial and error to master the intricate art. And his journey is basically a roadmap for how you preserve a heritage like this. First, you have to study and respect the past. Then, you perfect the craft with a ton of practice. But crucially, you have to pass that knowledge on to the next generation. And you create things like competitions to keep those skills sharp and the passion alive. Okay, let's zoom back out for a second. We've seen the art, we've seen the history, but how do you actually manage a massive, modern festival built on all this deep heritage? The answer? Meticulous planning. Yeah, this is no casual get-together. It's a professional, national-level event built on what they call 7 pillars of readiness. Everything from traffic control to risk management is carefully planned. And notice that last pillar. It's all about making sure that no matter how big the spectacle gets, it's always rooted in its unique cultural identity. And that careful planning extends right down to the physical layout. The main events are held at a historically important site, the Phra Ratnawangsa Monument. But they place the stage carefully so it doesn't block the view, which shows a deep respect for the location. Every zone, from VIP seating to first aid, is strategically placed for flow, safety, and reverence. So they've got this rich past and a really well-organized present. But what about the future? How do they make sure that Phum doesn't just survive, but actually grows even stronger? Well, the community's leaders, like the educator Kru Utai Suliamas, they have a clear answer. They know that for this tradition to be truly sustainable, it has to move beyond the festival grounds and workshops and become a real part of the formal education system.
And this slide really shows you that crucial evolution. The knowledge that was once passed informally from master monks to their apprentices inside the temple walls is now being formally taught to students in local schools. That is a huge strategic shift from just being heritage to being part of a real education. The community has this clear vision for the future. They want to officially register at Phum as a national, intangible cultural heritage, expand the school programs, and just foster that sense of pride in the younger generation. Ultimately, it's all about securing the legacy for years to come. And this leaves us with a final, powerful thought. The story of Phum isn't just about one town's spectacular festival. It's a case study that really makes you ask, how can any community's unique local heritage be nurtured so that it becomes a source of pride, strength, and identity for an entire nation?